Last year's Galaxy F22 was not perfect by any means, but it was a decent offering nonetheless. And today I have its successor, the Galaxy F23, which is known as the Galaxy M23 in some regions. I got this phone from Flipkart for 16,000 Indian rupees for the 6/128GB variant. At that time, there was some introductory offer going on, but right now it is priced 1,000 rupees more. At this price segment, this is the first phone to not come with a charger inside the box. As you can see, the Galaxy F23 comes in this slim box which houses the phone, Type-C to Type-C charging cable, user manual, and that's it. So the 17,000 price tag is kind of a delusion because you have to buy a 25-watt brick separately, which costs around 15,000 Indian rupees. So the effective price of this phone is actually 18,500 rupees. Anyways, let's start this review of the Galaxy F23 with the design side of things. Here, for the most part, Samsung has nailed the rare look of this phone. I am in love with this aqua blue color variant that I have, whereas the company has not gone overboard with the camera island either. The phone has Gorilla Glass 5 in its display, but that's about it when it comes to protection. There is no official IP rating here, and it does not have a rubber gasket in the SIM tray either, which, by the way, accepts 2 SIMs and a micro SD card. But I do appreciate the fact that Samsung has made the Galaxy F23 both lighter and thinner. As a result, you will have no problem carrying it around in your pocket. Samsung is also sticking with curved frames, whereas other brands have started experimenting with flat edges in this arena. Personally, the curved edges feel more at home to me. The fingerprint scanner is right where I like it, and it is also quite fast and accurate for the most part. Likewise, you will find all the ports on the bottom here. This includes a 3.5mm headphone jack, a Type-C port, and a single downward firing speaker. As good as it sounds, I was expecting stereo speakers on the Galaxy F23 since that's getting pretty common in this price range. Similarly, another aspect where the Galaxy F23 should be criticized is its Tft Lcd screen, and I am kinda on the fence on this one really. Here, Samsung's decision to go from a Super AMOLED to an LCD panel is kind of dumb given how it was among the best things about the Galaxy F22. I think they should have provided a 90Hz Full HD AMOLED display here. Sure, this 120Hz refresh rate feels quite smooth and it has fared well in my usage without much jitters. However, I would have had no problem settling for a slightly lower refresh rate if it was an AMOLED panel instead. That being said, I don't think it's an absolute trash of a display as the TFT name paints it out to be. Obviously, it does not match the colors of an AMOLED screen and the blacks appear grayish here, but it's the same for any LCD panel, even the IPS one that many believe Samsung should have opted for. This sheds light on all the confusion among users regarding smartphone display technologies. Here, TFT stands for Thin Film Transistor, and it's the core technology of major LCD screens, including the IPS ones. However, over the years, the term TFT has been used to refer to twisted pneumatic TN panels, which are generally known to have inferior colors and poor viewing angles compared to IPS. As with the F23's TFT panel, I did not face either of these issues, and I guess that Samsung is using a TFT plain-in switching PLS panel here, which is its alternative to the IPS standard that delivers a wider viewing angle, brighter contents, and better image quality. I also faced no problem streaming contents of Netflix and Prime Video on this phone. It supports HD playback on both of them, though there is no HDR support. Outdoor visibility is strictly average though, so you will struggle a bit when looking at this screen under direct sunlight. As for the battery endurance, the phone easily lasted me over a day on normal usage, which includes scrolling through social media apps, multimedia consumption, and a fair amount of photography. However, because of the power-hungry 120Hz refresh rate and the LCD display, the battery endurance is not as good as, say, the Redmi Note 11. So I often found myself reaching out to the charger at the end of the day when adding casual gaming into the mix. Using the 25-watt official charger, the F23's 5000 mAh battery took 1 hour and 25 minutes to go from 0 to 100%. Okay, let's now talk about the performance. Here, Samsung has gone with the tried and tested Snapdragon 750G. While it is not based on a more power-efficient 6nm process like the now popular Snapdragon 680, it is a lot more powerful than the 680. Remember I said tried and tested? That's because this chip has been on the market long enough for game developers to optimize their games. As a result, you can push most mainstream titles to their highest settings here, unlike the new Exynos 1280 on Samsung's latest mid-rangers. However, you will want to dial down the settings for stable gameplay. For instance, you can get a stable 30 FPS gameplay on PUBG under default settings, but when switching to smooth graphics and ultra frame rates, I noticed a few frame drops here and there, although it remained at 35 to 38 FPS on average. Likewise, I found high graphics and high frame rates to be the most optimum settings for Call of Duty Mobile. However, the Galaxy F23 has trouble running graphics-intensive games like Genshin Impact. At low settings, the phone delivers around 24 FPS on average at first, but it drops to roughly 18 FPS after a while into the game. As you'd imagine, the phone got warm pretty fast here, where I recorded the surface temperature around the camera bump at 40 degrees Celsius. Okay, moving on, like many of the new Galaxy phones so far, the Galaxy F23 5G boots on Android 12 with One UI 4.1 out of the box. Samsung even promises 2 years of software updates and 3 years of security patches for the Galaxy F23, by the way. And unlike its predecessor, which ran on One UI Core, you are getting full-fledged One UI here. Anyway, as much as I love Samsung's custom skin, the bloatware situation on this phone is rather disappointing. I also find it weird that the Galaxy F23 has Glance as their default lock screen wallpaper service provider instead of Samsung's in-house solution, especially since some of Glance's wallpapers are straight-up ads. Alright, I know a lot of you guys are eager to know about F23's cameras, so let's get right into it. Well, it's among the best camera setups in this price segment, no surprises there. Even though its 50 megapixel ISOCELL JN1 primary camera is not necessarily unique, what makes it stand out is 750G's superior image signal processor and Samsung's color optimization, which I personally love. Compared to the more expensive Galaxy A23, I found that it holds its ground quite well. In general, the photos from the Galaxy F23 come out with good colors, contrast levels, and dynamic range. Similarly, I did not face any problem with auto HDR here like with other mid-range phones in the past. And there is not a significant color shift when switching from the primary to the ultra-wide-angle camera on the Galaxy F23 either, while its ultra-wide-angle shots have a pretty good dynamic range as well. Background separation on portraits is decent too, although the subjects look somewhat warm. Getting to nighttime shots, the F23 unfortunately shoots pretty dark and grainy photos where it tries to maintain close to natural colors. Turning on night mode does brighten the shot a bit, but it does not necessarily improve in terms of noise and detail levels. Likewise, selfies from the 8 megapixel front-facing camera have this slight reddish tint. Other than that, its dynamic range is sort of a hit or a miss as well. In terms of videos, the Galaxy F23's rear cameras can shoot up to 4K 30 FPS. In most cases, I found that its videos are usually steadier compared to the Galaxy A23, but it's nothing to write home about. The selfie videos here cap out at 1080p 30 FPS, and as you can see, it crops into the frame, whereas I can't help but notice the weird bluish tint here either. So, wrapping up this review, the Galaxy F23 5G is a pretty decent mid-range phone for the price. I really like its primary camera, the design, and its overall performance. Also, Samsung's software optimization in the mid-range segment is simply unmatched. So, if those are your priorities, it is definitely a good choice for you. But if you are someone who watches a lot of movies, you might want to get something like the Redmi Note 11 Pro 4G, which comes with a quality AMOLED screen and a fast 67-watt charger inside the box. So guys, that was all for our full review of the Samsung Galaxy F23. Up next, we're coming up with the review of the Galaxy A23 as well. So to watch that, please do subscribe to our channel and hit that bell icon. Till then, I'm Pratima and thank you so much for watching.